Guys, Sean here with OneStopSportsInvestors.com, and today I'm going to be talking about Bookie Buster, why most people fail with that product. And before I get started, I just want to let you know of that I'm giving away. If you visit my website after the video, you can visit my website, OneStopSportsInvestors.com. I'm giving away a free report, Sports Investing Secrets, how to turn $1,000 into over $1 million in less than 5 years betting on sports. So once the video's done, go ahead and grab yourself a copy of that, and it really talks about how to treat sports investing as a legitimate business. So go ahead and grab that after. So what we're talking about today, Bookie Buster, why people fail. And if you've heard of Bookie Buster before, if you haven't, I've done some complete a couple reviews of it, exactly what to expect with it. But today, what I want to talk about is why people would fail by using this product. So let's start out with why people fail. The main reasons are greed. They don't manage their bankroll properly, and they're willing to gamble, and they stay undisciplined. A lot of people just try to treat it as they're trying to make, trying to turn $100 into like $100,000 in a very, very short time. And those aren't the realities of it, but you can make some seriously good money if you stick to a couple of, if you stay disciplined and manage your bankroll properly. That's for sure. One thing's to look out for, don't believe the hype out there. There's a lot of guys that are saying they'll win 80% of their games, that there's guaranteed games out there, and then you hear all this every time. It's my lock of the week, or my 5-star lock of the decade, or what have you. We've all heard this stuff. It's all crap. The thing is, any game can lose. There's no such thing as a guarantee, and no one can win 80 or 90% of his games. It's absolutely impossible to do that. Anyone can go on a good winning streak and go 8-2 over a short period of time, but to win 80 or 90% of your games in the long run is just an impossible feat. So anyone tells you that they're doing that is lying to you. So you want to sort of stay away from that. I don't want to scare you off here. Is it possible to still make money with Bookie Buster? Definitely, but you need to be realistic about it, and I'm just going to show you how to do that right now. So basically, I just want to talk. Some of you may or may not know. If you're new to sports betting, you may not have seen this. If you're a seasoned pro, then you maybe know this number. But basically, this number here is the sports betting magic number, 52.4%. So what that is on sports usually with a spread such as football and basketball. Your break-even point is 52.4%. So that takes into account the juice that you're paying to the sports book for accepting your bets. That's usually about 10%. So to be profitable, you need to hit 52.5%, have a winning rate of 52.5%, and you're actually in profit. So it doesn't sound as scary. You don't need to win 80%. You don't need to win 90% of your games to make a good amount of money betting on sports. But just keep in mind of this number. This is a number that you should have in the back of your minds when you are playing. So I'm going to show you an example of this, and I'm just going to show you sort of the power that's possible with Bookie Buster on one of the systems if you're using a flat betting system with this system here. So basically, let's say for example you're starting out you have a bankroll of $1,000. So instead of betting, this is where a lot of people will fail, is because they'll bet too much of their money. They'll have $1,000, so they'll bet $100 on one game, they'll bet $200 on another game, and then they'll bet, let's say, $300 or $400 on the game they know is guaranteed to win. And they can win very, very quickly, but you can lose a lot of your bankroll very, very quickly as well. So that's not recommended. So what I personally use and recommend is not to bet more than 5% of your bankroll on any given game if you're using a same bet or a flat bet system. So in this case, I've started with $1,000. Your bets should be $50. And for this example, I'm going to use a win rate of 57%. So I'm not going to, it's very conservative. I'm not going to use something that says 80% or 90% to show you these numbers here. I'm using 57%, and you're going to see sort of the power of that. And then based on this example, I'm also going to say we're going to bet on 2 games per day. That's it, the 2 best games on the board per day. And let's see what sort of can be achieved of here. So here's the example again, with all the details. You got a starting bankroll of 1,000. Here's your $50 bets. Your win rate 57%. So what does that mean for you? Two games per day means that over a course of a week you'd be betting on 14 games, and a 57% win rate means you're going to win 8 of your games and lose 6 of your games. So that's a lot of losses there. It's not as an impressive record. It's not like I'm saying you're 8-2 or you're 9-1. I'm saying you're going to go 8-6, and it just shows you the power of this. So that means that if you actually add this up, you're actually up 2 wins for the week. Now, we have that thing that I talked about a little bit before, which is your juice or the VIG, which is usually the 10% that the sports books take just for hosting your bets there. So you basically pay an extra 10% of all your losses here. So what that translates into, of these 6 losses, you're actually going to pay a 0.6 more on those net wins because you're paying 10% there. So your net wins for this example here is actually 1.4 net wins for the week, or units. Some people like to call it units there. It doesn't look that impressive. It's not something that you're going to quit your job over, right? Because that actually translates into just a $70 profit. But let me show you sort of the power of what happens if you continuously do this sort of week after week and month after month. So that's $70 basically there. What that actually translates into is actually an increase on your bankroll of 7%. So your new bankroll amount after that week is actually $1,070. Doesn't sound like a lot. You're not going to be boasting to your friends that you made $70 this week, but it's a start. And if you continuously do it over and over, you're going to see how powerful that can be. So let's take that same 7%. Now let's look at it on a monthly basis. Well, that's a 28% monthly increase. If you take that thing and just move it over a year, 12 times your 28 here, it's going to give you a 336 yearly return. I hope you're starting to get excited and see the potential with this. With this conservative example of just 7% weekly, only hitting 57% of your games, we're talking about returns over 300%. I don't know about you. I'm not getting this from the bank, and I'm definitely not getting it from the stock market. So it's something that you maybe want to look on there. So although these numbers are impressive, I really want to show you now what's really possible if you actually were to compound your amounts there. And what I mean by that is we're using a 28%, let's say, for the month. So at the end of the month, if you reevaluate your amount, you've basically taken your bankroll from $1,000 after month 1 to $1,280 with a 28% increase. So if you were to reevaluate and then do your 5% bets off that new amount, instead of betting 50 like you were doing in month 1, well, in month 2, you would actually be betting $64. So if you just do that month after month, reevaluate the amount, you're going to see there. So I'm going to take you over to a compound interest calculator here, guys. It's a website I use. It's moneychimp.com. If you were to go to Google and just type in compound interest calculator, there's a bunch that come up. They all basically work the same. But basically what I wanted to show you is here's your starting bankroll that we talked about, 1,000 years to grow. In our case, we're going to do it monthly. Okay, and then what the interest rate that I want to show you here was the 28%. So let's say I pick calculate. Basically, at the end, look at this number down here, $19,000 from $1,000 initial bankroll. With that conservative example that I just talked about, that's 19 times your money. That's pretty impressive. And that's just with this conservative example. Imagine you can get yourself a 58% win rate, 59% win rate, and this is definitely is possible to achieve with the Bookie Buster systems and so on. But just want to show you there. So let's say I want to even decrease this down. I'm going to say, well, let's win. Instead of 28%, let's see what happens at 20%. Well, even just a 20% increase monthly, you've gotten almost 900% on your money there. Guys, you're not getting that in the market. There's no way. And this was a conservative example. Remember, we're only going 8-6 for the week, 57% win rate. I'm not talking about 9-1 and astronomical win rates there. One last example, let's say you were even put it at 10% monthly, which is only 2.5% weekly. You're still up well over 300% returns on your money. So just something to look out for and really sort of look at it realistically there. So hope that helps, guys. If you want to get started and start winning, make sure you grab yourself a copy of Bookie Buster and sort of use the systems and manage your bankroll properly. onestopsportsinvestors.com/bookiebuster.php. Go directly to the site, get yourself started today. And if you haven't already, make sure onestopsportsinvestors.com, pick up that free report where I really talk about compound interest and